My girlfriend said, "I can do whatever I want." I replied, "So can I." Then I froze our joint account, changed the locks, boxed up every outfit my money bought, and I just smiled because her wellness empire collapsed the second I stopped paying for her fairy tale. God, Jake, you are exhausting. I can do whatever I want. I don't need your permission. Those were the exact words my girlfriend Maddie said to me 3 nights ago when I asked why a couple's retreat in Sedona had posted a photo of her as someone else's partner. I didn't yell back. I didn't throw anything. I just said okay and walked away. What happened next changed everything about how I see relationships, money, and the difference between supporting someone and funding your own replacement. I am Jake, 31, and I work as a senior cloud security engineer for a fintech startup here in Scottsdale. My life is straightforward. I like things organized, predictable. I value calm and honesty. Maddie is 29. We have been together for 3 years, living together for 2. She is a wellness and embodiment coach with about 25,000 Instagram followers. She posts about feminine energy, abundance mindset, and living in alignment. When we first met, I found that fascinating. She was magnetic in a way I am not. She moved into my condo about 2 years ago. The lease is in my name. I pay the rent, utilities, internet, parking. She contributes maybe $200 a month, less than 20% of our costs. When I brought it up once, she said I was being controlling about money. I let it go. Over the past 6 months, Maddie started pulling away. She'd snap at me over small things. She bought new outfits that seemed too nice for gym sessions. She started talking about this photographer named Eli Torres who shoots content for wellness influencers. He is 32, used to play college soccer, and now calls himself a movement coach. Maddie said he was helping her elevate her brand. 2 weeks ago, Maddie told me she was going to a creator wellness intensive in Sedona, professional development, networking with other coaches. I encouraged her to go. I even helped her pack. The night before she left, I was scrolling LinkedIn when I saw a post from the Moonrest Retreat Sedona. The caption read, "Honored to host Eli Torres and his partner for our couple's reconnection weekend." The photo showed Eli standing next to Maddie, wearing the exact white linen outfit she had packed that morning. When Maddie got home that evening, I asked her about it. She laughed. She said it was a hybrid event and Eli needed a +1. She said I was being paranoid. I asked about the charge on our joint credit card, $1,800 to the Moonrest Retreat. She got quiet, then said Eli had covered most of it. That is when she said it, "God, Jake, you are exhausting. I can do whatever I want. I don't need your permission." I felt something shift in my chest. Not anger exactly, more like clarity. She was right. She could do whatever she wanted, but so could I. I didn't argue. I didn't push back. I just said okay and went to make dinner. Maddie seemed surprised that I dropped it so easily. She went back to packing and humming along to some meditation playlist. I made pasta and watched her from the kitchen. And for the first time in months, I felt completely calm. That night after she fell asleep, I went through our joint account history. 6 months of charges I had never looked at closely. Venmo payments to Eli Torres, hotel bookings in Tucson, Flagstaff, Prescott on weekends she had said she was at workshops, charges at boutique wineries and upscale restaurants on days she had told me she was doing unpaid content. Then Maddie had left her iPad on the coffee table unlocked. I sat there for a solid minute just staring at it. My hands were shaking. I knew that if I opened it I would find something I couldn't unsee, but I also knew I needed to know. I opened her messages. 6 months of text between her and Eli, romantic, explicit inside jokes and plans. Phrases like, "He doesn't understand me the way you do and I cannot wait until I can just leave." There were voice memos of them laughing together, photos I had never seen, screenshots of apartment listings in Sedona with captions like "Our future place." One message stood out. It was from 3 weeks ago. "He is so controlling about money, but his card makes everything easier. Once I am more established, I will not need to use it anymore." I had been funding my own betrayal. Every romantic dinner, every weekend getaway, every boutique candle and crystal and linen outfit. I would paid for all of it while she built a completely separate life with someone else. I didn't wake her up. I didn't scream or break things or demand answers. Instead, I took screenshots. Every message, every photo, every receipt. I logged into our joint account and downloaded 6 months of statements. I pulled up our lease agreement and confirmed what I already knew, that only my name was on it. I checked our insurance policy. My name with her listed as a domestic partner dependent. Then I made a plan. Friday morning, Maddie left for Sedona. She kissed my cheek and said I really needed to learn to relax. I told her I was working on it. I called my bank and scheduled the joint account to be frozen Saturday morning. Filed paperwork to remove her from insurance effective Monday. Had her phone line transferred to prepaid with a 3-day buffer. Scheduled a locksmith for Sunday morning. Then I started packing. Everything she had bought with money from our joint account went into boxes. I kept detailed lists. Clothes, shoes, skincare, decorative items, all of it. Things that were hers from before we lived together. I packed carefully and with respect. Everything purchased on my dime went into a separate pile Saturday afternoon. I changed the locks. The building security guard asked if everything was okay. I showed him the lease with only my name on it. I showed him the photo from the couple's retreat. Louis made me sign a liability waiver, but didn't stop me. By Sunday evening, everything was done. I left a note on top of the boxes. You said you can do whatever you want, so can I. I sat on my balcony and waited. Update 1. Maddie got back. Sunday night around 800. I heard her access card beep at the door, then beep again. Through the peephole, I watched her try it 4 more times. She called me. I let it go to voicemail. She called again. Voicemail. Then she started knocking. Louise came up after 10 minutes. He told her that her access had been revoked and building management had received formal notice. Maddie's voice went up an octave. She told Louis there had been a mistake, that she lived here. Louis repeated that only the leaseholder could authorize building access. She tried calling from Louise's phone. I didn't answer. Around 9, her sister Kelsey showed up. I heard the elevator ding and then rapid footsteps in the hallway. Kelsey started yelling about how I was a coward and an abuser, and how dare I lock Maddie out without warning. I could hear other neighbors' doors opening. I recorded that part on my phone just in case. Then I opened the door. Kelsey stopped mid-sentence. I think she expected me to be angry or defensive. Instead, I was completely calm. I handed her a folder. Inside were printed screenshots of the retreat photo, 6 months of credit card statements with Ellie's name highlighted in yellow, and text messages between Maddie and Ellie showing the timeline and financial trail. I said, "Your sister has been in a relationship with Ellie Torres for at least 6 months using our joint account to fund it. Everything she owns is in those boxes by the door. She can arrange pickup during building hours." I am not discussing this further. Kelsey opened the folder. I watched her face change as she flipped through the pages. First confusion, then recognition, then something that looked like disgust. She looked at Maddie, then back at the papers, then at Maddie again. She closed the folder carefully. She didn't apologize to me. She didn't yell at Maddie. She just said very quietly, "Get in the car now." Maddie started to protest, but Kelsey cut her off. I said, "Get in the car." I closed the door and went back to my balcony. Monday morning, I woke up to 17 missed calls from Maddie. I didn't respond. I processed the insurance removal, confirmed the joint account freeze. Then Maddie posted an Instagram story, soft focus mirror selfie with a caption about how some men cannot handle strong women who know their worth. The comments started supportive. Then someone commented with a screenshot of the Moonrest retreat post. Wait, wasn't that a couple's weekend? The comments exploded. People started asking questions. Someone found photos Ellie had posted and deleted. In them, Maddie and Ellie were holding hands. In one, they were kissing by red rocks. Maddie deleted the story within an hour, but people had already screenshot everything. Tuesday afternoon, I got a call from Rachel, who runs retreat partnerships for Moonrest. They had discovered irregularities in partnership fund usage. Ali had claimed Maddie was his business partner and gotten a discount meant for professional collaborators. They were handling it internally. Wednesday, Maddie's mom called me furious. She said I had humiliated her daughter publicly. I told her I would simply secured my own residence after discovering a 6-month affair funded by my money. She said that couldn't be true, that Maddie had complained about how cheap I was. I sent her a spreadsheet, every shared expense for 2 years. Rent, utilities, groceries, insurance, parking, internet, furniture, household supplies. Who paid what? Over 24 months, I had covered 85% of our shared costs. Maddie's mom didn't call back. By Thursday, things had gone quiet. I got a text from a number I didn't recognize. "This is Ali. We need to talk." 10 minutes later, another text. "I know you are angry, but you are making this harder than it needs to be. Maddie's a mess. She made mistakes, but so did you. You were controlling and you know it." I blocked the number. Friday afternoon, I did something I hadn't done in months. I called my buddy Aaron and asked if he wanted to go climbing. At the gym, I ran into Brooke Carter. She is 30, runs an outdoor travel business. We ended up climbing together for a couple hours. Afterwards, she asked if I wanted to grab food. We went to a taco place. Brooke insisted on splitting the bill. When I said I could cover it, she looked at me like I had suggested something bizarre. She said, "Why would you pay for my food? We are just hanging out." After 2 years of covering nearly everything while being called controlling about money, here was someone who thought splitting a $20 meal was basic decency. We talked for 3 hours. When we left, she said we should climb again sometime. The next morning, I woke up to one final text from Maddie, long and rambling. She said she had made mistakes, but I had pushed her away. She said, Ali had helped her remember what passion felt like. Then at the end, Ali and I are taking a break. He says he needs space. "I don't have anywhere to go. Can we please just talk?" I read it twice. Then I deleted it without responding. I texted Brooke and asked if she was free Sunday for a hike. Update 2. Remember how Maddie posted that Instagram story and deleted it? That was just the beginning. Over the next few days, people kept digging. Her whole brand was built on authenticity and feminine empowerment. When followers realized she had been lying while preaching radical honesty, the tide turned. Comments on her older posts started changing. People weren't asking about morning routines anymore. They were asking about the retreat about Ali. Someone commented, "Interesting how your abundance mindset includes using someone else's credit card." Maddie tried to get ahead of it. She posted a long carousel about how relationships are complicated and society places unfair expectations on women. She talked about growth and accountability without admitting to anything specific. The comments were brutal. People said she was weaponizing therapy language to avoid responsibility. By the end of that week, 3 brand partnerships quietly disappeared. A supplement company, a yoga mat brand, and an online course platform all stopped tagging her. One posted a statement about aligning with creators who embody their values. They didn't name Maddie, but everyone knew. Remember Rachel from Moonrest? They had done a deeper audit. Ali had claimed he and Maddie were building a couples coaching program and gotten a 50% discount because of it. The retreat had paid for promotional photos under the assumption they were legitimate business partners. When they realized it was a cover for a romantic getaway, they weren't happy. Ali's working relationship with several wellness retreats got complicated. His Instagram comments filled up with questions he couldn't answer. And then Ali completely ghosted Maddie. I know this because Kelsey reached out to apologize. She sent a long email explaining that she had confronted Maddie after seeing the evidence. Maddie had admitted everything. Kelsey felt horrible for yelling at me. According to Kelsey, Ali blocked Maddie's number 3 days after I changed the locks. He sent one text saying he needed space and couldn't handle the drama. Then he was gone. He had moved to Colorado. Maddie tried reaching out through other people, but he wanted nothing to do with her. Kelsey said Maddie was devastated. She would truly believed Ali was her soulmate. She asked if I would be willing to talk to Maddie for closure. I thanked Kelsey for apologizing and said closure was something Maddie would need to find on her own. Around this time, my life was actually getting better. Brooke and I had gone on that hike near Prescott. It was incredible. We talked about everything. She told me about her last relationship, which ended because the guy wanted her to quit her business and move to California. She had said no and never looked back. What struck me about Brooke was how easy everything felt. We had split gas money. We had packed our own lunches. When we stopped at a coffee shop, she bought her coffee and I bought mine. Nobody made it into a referendum on anything. It was just two people doing normal things. We started climbing together twice a week, then 3 times. Then we added weekend hikes. Neither of us put a label on it. We were just spending time together and enjoying it. One night after climbing, we grabbed dinner at a Thai place. Brooke ordered extra spring rolls and insisted on splitting the bill. As she was calculating her half, she looked up and laughed. "You just look so relieved every time I offer to split something." "What is that about?" I told her enough. I explained that my last relationship had this weird dynamic where I would paid for almost everything, but still got accused of being controlling whenever I asked about shared expenses. Brooke put her phone down. She said, "That sounds exhausting. Money is just money. If we are both eating, we both pay." I don't understand why that is complicated. 2 weeks later, Maddie's mom called me again. This time, her tone was completely different. She asked if we could meet for coffee. We met at a Starbucks. She apologized immediately. She said Maddie had been lying to the family for months, painting me as financially abusive. She said after seeing the spreadsheet and talking to Kelsey, she had realized how wrong she had been. Then she told me Maddie had asked to move back home temporarily. Maddie's mom had said no. She had told Maddie she was 29 years old and needed to figure things out on her own. "I love my daughter," she said, "but I am not going to enable her anymore. She needs to understand that actions have consequences." That weekend, Brooke asked if I wanted to go camping in Sedona. I hesitated for half a second because Sedona was where everything had imploded. Then I realized that was exactly why I should go. We went, we hiked, we watched the sunrise from the rocks. On the drive back, Brooke reached over and took my hand. That night she asked if I wanted to be official, not dramatically, just casually over leftover pizza. She said she really liked spending time with me and wanted to see where this could go. I said yes. The next morning I got a voicemail from Maddie. Her voice sounded small and tired. She said she had made terrible mistakes. Illy had used her. She said we had been good together once and maybe we could find that again. She said, "I know I hurt you, but you hurt me too. We both messed up. Can we at least try?" I listened to the whole thing. Then I deleted it. I texted, "Brooke, want to check out that new climbing gym in Tempe this weekend?" She responded immediately, "Absolutely, I will drive. You buy the post-climb burritos." I wrote back, "Deal, final update. About 3 months ago I got a call from an unknown number. It was Maddie. She had borrowed someone's phone. She said, 'Jake, please don't hang up, I just need 5 minutes.'" Something in her voice made me pause. She sounded broken. She told me everything had fallen apart. Illy had completely cut her off and moved to Boulder. He had blocked her on everything. Her wellness coaching business had dissolved after the social media incident. Most of her followers had unfollowed. The brand partnerships were gone. She had tried to start fresh with a new account, but people found it and called her out there too. She was subletting a room in Tempe. Her mom had refused to let her move back home. Kelsey was still talking to her, but their relationship was strained. She had applied for regular jobs, but nothing had come through yet. "I made a mistake," she said. "A huge mistake, but it wasn't real with Illy. He was just telling me what I wanted to hear. What we had was real." 3 years, Jake, that has to count for something. I let her finish. Then I said, "Maddie, this was never about the cheating. What really broke everything was the lying and the financial betrayal. You spent 6 months building a relationship with someone else using my money. You told him I was controlling while using my credit card to pay for your romantic getaways." She started crying. She said Illy had manipulated her. She said if I would just give her another chance, she had proved she had changed. I said, You didn't make a mistake. You made a lifestyle, and the only reason you want me back is because the lifestyle fell apart." There was a long silence. Then she said, "That is not fair." "Maybe not," I said, "but it is true." I told her I hoped she figured things out. I told her I didn't hate her. Then I said I was seeing someone and I was happy and I needed her to stop trying to contact me. She asked who I was seeing. I didn't answer. I just said goodbye and hung up. When I got home that night, Brooke was already there. I had given her a key about a month earlier. She had made dinner. This coconut curry thing she makes, she could tell something was off. I told her about the call. She listened without interrupting. When I finished, she just gave me a hug and said, "That sounds really hard. I am proud of you for being clear with her. No drama, no jealousy, just support. That is the thing about Brooke. Everything is just steady. We have been together for 5 months now. Last month we bought a cabin together near Prescott. The mortgage is in both our names. 50/50. We both put down equal deposits. We split all the closing costs. She insisted on it. The cabin needs work, but that is part of the appeal. We have been driving up on weekends to paint and fix things. Her parents came up one weekend to help us install new light fixtures. My mom came up the next weekend and brought supplies to help us landscape. It has been this collaborative, equal thing. Brooke runs her outdoor travel business from anywhere, so she splits her time between her apartment and the cabin. I work remote most days, so I have been spending more time up there too. We are talking about making it our primary residence by next year. We don't have joint accounts. We don't need them. We just split things as they come up. She will pay for groceries one week, I will pay the next. It is not about keeping score. It is about both of us contributing because we are both adults who chose to be here. As for Maddie, I heard through some mutual acquaintances that she eventually found work doing admin stuff for a dental office. She is off social media completely now. No more wellness coaching. According to Kelsey, Maddie is doing better. She is in therapy. She is learning to take responsibility for her choices. I am genuinely glad she is doing better. I don't wish harm on her, but I also don't miss her or regret how things ended. Last weekend, Brooke and I were sitting on the porch of the cabin watching the sunset. She turned to me and said, "Do you ever think about how different your life would be if you had stayed?" I thought about it. Then I said, "Yeah, I would probably still be paying for someone else's life while being told I was the problem." She laughed. "Well, I am glad you didn't stay. This is way better. It really is. The best revenge isn't some elaborate takedown. It is not public humiliation or legal battles. The best revenge is building a life so good that you forget you were ever trying to get revenge in the first.